there's blatant Russian collusion from this bullcrap dossier that they got from Steele, who got it from shady Russians. I mean,
this all comes down once again. Why do they want the immigrants here? They don't want them to live in their backyard, like he says. They want them because they're votes. That's what this is all about. It's all about the votes.
This guy, Pete Davidson, is a piece of crap. He's a lowlife, left-wing, disgusting human being, if I can even call him that.
Who says that they don't want to be divisive. This is the one who wants the inclusivity and all that stuff, but yet they want to say that the MAGA hats is like wearing the robes of the Klan. These people, they're on crack.
No, they're out of their mind.
All right. Now all we got to do is check and make sure you have a microphone. So.
All right. All right. Welcome, everybody. Yeah, we'll make sure my mic's on. How's it going, everybody?
Yeah, before we spend a minute and a half of you talking and we don't have anything. So Rocky will let us know if we got anything going on. So how you doing, Jake?
I am doing good. I'm trying to find the broadcast, but man, my phone is so slow right now. It won't even open up Periscope. It's just sitting there like buffering, just so I could share this out. So anybody that's here, I don't know who is here. Let me know if you can even hear. Well, they can hear me, right? Sound is good. Rocky says sound is good.
Oh, good. Hey, for once, it's a miracle. I'm trying to find a broadcast. I'm on your Christmas special. What else do we got?
Christmas. Nice. Hey, welcome everybody, man. Happy Friday. And as soon as I share this out, I could be with you. We also on YouTube where Rocky is right now, Vantage Point USA.
Yep.
If you're first time here, my name's Jake. That's Rich. He's running the controls. I just got to sit here and look dumb. What do we got going on, Rich?
Well, we got a lot of stuff. Obviously, COVID's one of them. And hey, Rocky, how you doing, brother? See the chat now. So yeah, COVID. What about it?
Tell me what you think about this craziness.
I think sometimes it touches close to home, and so I just want to give a shout out and say, wishing you all the best on that. Okay, not that personally affected, but yeah, on anybody that you know, anybody that you love.
I had put it out there that I lost somebody very close to me 2 days ago. It's been a rough couple of days, so I got to tell you, even doing this, it doesn't make up for us. You coming down here and us going to play golf and hanging with family, but at least we have this. Can you imagine, in 1917?
Yeah,
when they couldn't get internet service. No, I was
kidding. it was slower than it is now, right? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, Moderna's
any current events?
Yeah, so Moderna's putting out some good stuff right now. So apparently they're going into phase 2 trials of their vaccine that they have.
Where is that? Who's putting it out?
Moderna Pharmaceutical.
Moderna Pharmaceuticals. Hey, there's Glade, Jay, and Rich. All right, tell us about Moderna. What do they got?
Yeah, so phase 2 trials going on now, or they're heading towards them. Phase 1, they're kind of running them tandem. Even before one's completely over, they're filing obviously to start the newer ones. This is something that basically messes with the whole mechanical receiving of the protein of the COVID virus, and so it looks good. Not enough to stop the stock market from sliding today on threats of possible tariff wars with China. So we touched on the fact of whatever camp you're on, whether or not it escaped from a lab, whether it was designed from a lab, or whether it happened naturally. What do you think about the possible tariff wars that are going to start up?
Well, I could tell you, touching base real quick on whether it came from a lab or not, the press conference before this one today, which was the first official White House press conference with the new lady, I don't know her name. She did really good today.
Good.
You guys should check it out. But Trump was definitely pretty much saying he's seen a lot of stuff that says it's coming out of there. So we'll have to just see. And the tariffs, we have to do something. Obviously, we have to do something. We have to tread lightly and carry a big stick when it comes to China. The problem is every administration before Trump got us so wrapped up. Like you can't just, build a wall, around China and be like, no more. It's going to take a little time to undo what many administrations have done. I mean, it's horrible. I agree about them, stopping flights from, inside China, but letting them people from Hunan province fly all over the world. It wasn't good.
Right.
Wuhan, not Hunan. Wuhan. I sound like Biden there for a minute. Sorry, I'm still trying to share this out. For some reason, I can't get on Periscope, but
Oh, okay.
that's the
Well,
story of my life.
I think one of the biggest things that they were concerned, well, I thought it was one of the bigger things they were concerned about, which Kudlow put paid to, and said, no, it's not going to happen. And that's whether or not we were actually going to honor the Chinese debt in this country, or we weren't going to pay on it. And Kudlow came out and said, no, I said, the full faith and backing of the United States is sacrosanct as far as the dollar goes, going to keep it the currency of the world and all those things. And I think what Trump was saying, listen, there's other ways to skin a cat.
Right. He said that in that conference. He kind of shot that down, like we're not going to do that.
Yeah. So, I mean, the tariffs are another way to do it. I mean, obviously, now is not the time to get into open warfare, on an
No,
economic scale with every country being debilitated. But
no.
yeah, we're going to see. I mean, they have to, like I said, if they get intelligence that said a lab did it, and it was actually that's going to be a horse of a different color. But even if it's a cultural thing, like we touched on last time, whether these wet markets, it came out of that, and you have this cross contamination, that's got to be addressed. I mean, China has to be called on to say, or every country needs to be called on and say, hey, listen, outlaw it, stop it, whatever you got to do, because these things are going to keep happening in nature if you allow these wet markets to continue and these type of cultural, I guess,
Yeah.
food preparations to go on. So,
Yeah. And especially speaking of food preparations, we could talk about Smithfield Foods, which is owned by China, just happened to be the only food processing place that this coronavirus made it into. So you got to raise a red flag right there, since China. I was totally against when China bought out Smithfield Foods. I did not think that was smart. And here we are now. And then Tyson, which is big in the Carolinas
right, right.
and everywhere, putting out a warning. I'm surprised there isn't a run on, meat. I'm sure there is. I got enough, but I'm not a hoarder, but you definitely get enough. And these are the reasons you don't sell your country out. I mean, they
Yeah,
were holding, uh, you know, all the substances to make the drugs that we use. They were holding all the PPP, ransom. Now, the meat. All of a sudden, who knows what's going to happen with this? I just hope. I know Trump did declare a executive order to kind
right.
of put an end to that, so that's good.
Yeah, he put the Defense Act in place. And actually, I don't know, obviously, that's going to help. Some of the meat packing plants went back on, but man, there is such a backlog of cattle. I mean, I heard interviews with the beef ranchers who are saying, listen, if we can't get these cows to market soon, we're going to have to keep feeding them, and we're going to go bankrupt to keep feeding them. And by the time they do get to market, you're going to have like brontosaurus burgers around this big, because those ribeyes, these cows are going to keep growing. I mean, they try to hit them at a certain age
Yeah,
because you want to keep the meat of a certain size, pretty much, for the packaging industry. These things are going to get huge going forward. But yeah, I mean, and this is
well,
just a microcosm of what all is happening to all the supply chains that have not even been felt yet. I mean, these are just some of the really apparent ones, but whether it be auto parts or any plant that produces something that has to shutter for any amount of time is going to interrupt the supply chain. So yeah, going down the road, I think it's going to get kind of ugly. So yeah.
yeah, absolutely. I finally got on. I had to turn my phone off and turn it back on, so I'm about to share this out. So with all my followers, we should get another 3 people.
Oh, awesome. Yeah.
Because I'm so shadow banned, it's ridiculous.
That's all right. Quality over quantity. That's what we always say.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. So let me see who's here real quick. I see Teresa DePaul and Elizabeth and
Hello.
Paula. Welcome everybody. Of
Hello.
course,
Hello.
Clay and Rocky, our main supporters. You gotta love them.
Thank you. Thank you. So, we talked about the as far as Wuhan and talking about some of the investigation that was going on. Did you see the article that they had about Kim Jong confirming even more closely? We talked about the speculation because no one had seen him, whether or not he was gravely ill or whether he was dead. There was
Right.
there was an article I'll kick over real quick. This was an article, Mystery of North Korea's Kim Jong deepens. And so basically, this was talking about the rumors that were swirling. Uh, and this is because there's this guy, Ji Song Ho, a North Korean defector, who became a member this month of the South Korea's National Assembly. He was over there and he told the local media Kim died after cardiovascular surgery and that announcement is coming. He'd said
Wow.
that I've been informed that Kim died last weekend, according to the report. It's not 100% certain, but I can say the possibility is 99%. So they say that right now North Korea is grappling with the issues of succession issues. But yeah, so
I have no idea if he's alive or dead. I really don't think it matters. Whoever takes over is going to probably have the same policy as him. I know, everybody was. Do you remember? Wasn't it during the Olympics when in our media was all the rage about Kim Jong's sister, and they were like
yep.
praising her like she was Queen Elizabeth. Elizabeth. I thought that was really crazy, bro.
Yeah, when she just because she went to the Olympic ceremony, I guess it was supposed to be the healing of the two countries, bringing them close together. I don't know, but
No, it was kind of weird.
yeah, it was weird, and this is going to be a big thing. Like I said, just remember that the source on this was UPI, and that this guy was a North Korean defector. I don't know how highly in the North Korea government he was, but he did get a place in the South Korea's National Assembly, so he must have been fairly well placed to get that position with South Korea once he defected. So yeah, I don't know, crazy stuff.
Well, it's crazy how our media does that all the time. I can finally take my glasses off now. How even like when President Trump took out that dirtbag of a terrorist, in Iran, and how our media was like put up, all these praises about the guy, and I'm like, are you kidding? Do you hate Trump so bad that you're gonna side with this guy who's maimed and killed so many people, our soldiers, so many people? I don't. They lost their mind, bro. It's like Trump derangement syndrome will be studied for years and years after this. It's
Yep.
crazy.
Yeah, I was talking earlier about that article, Trump's very brief period of coronavirus and mourning. If you don't mind, I'll toss that up there just real quick. So this was an article. This was
Before you do that, let me say cheers. Happy Friday to everybody. A little Captain and Coke going on. And Rich, what do you got?
Dad. Sorry, I hit the intro there, trying to get back to you with the salute. You could throw that glass up again.
Oh, there you
There
go.
it is.
There we go. It's at half, so we're good.
Half mast. There you go. So this was an article that was put up by NBC News, and it just really is irritating. This is not a op-ed piece, and normally back in the day, this would have had to have been an op-ed piece to say anything like this. But it talks about the fact that they quote what Trump said in a derogatory, deprecating way. It said, "We continue to mourn with thousands of families across the countries whose loved ones have been stolen from us by the invisible enemy," he said of the human toll of the coronavirus at a Rose Garden conference, as he glanced towards the spot behind his podium where prepared notes usually sit. We grieve by their side. So basically saying this wasn't his own thought. This was something that he was just reading off a
Right, and
cue
he's the
card.
first president to ever do that. I mean, every one of them do that. Doesn't mean you don't mean it.
Right.
And if he didn't mean it, he could have said, "Hey, take that part out."
Right. And then they go on to say in the next paragraph, and then in less time than it would have taken to read some of the recent reports about his neglect of the human toll of the pandemic and lack of empathy
Oh
for
my God.
victims, he praised several major corporations that are partnering with the government to ramp up production for the virus. To me, that's just, in an op-ed piece, if you're going to make your opinion on what Trump feels like for people and victims and stuff, you write that in an op-ed piece. You don't write that in something that's put out there as a actual news article, in my opinion.
How dare he praise American ingenuity and workers and businesses to change their whole factories to help out other people? How dare he?
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
come on, that's what we're supposed to do. I mean, it doesn't matter what he does. You
that's
know
right.
what I mean?
Oh, he
If
can do, he
if he
can,
went on live and he walked across water, they would say, "Oh, Trump can't afford a boat."
yeah.
I mean, literally,
He's
it's
polluting,
crazy.
he's polluting the water. You see him walking right in that water. He didn't even
Yeah,
wash his feet.
what a show off! What a
Yeah.
show off!
What a show off.
It's crazy. Welcome everybody to. We're gonna try to start going live more. We usually say around 9, so that covers us, legally.
Yeah, nine
Um,
in the morning till
go
9 at
ahead.
night, somewhere in there.
Did you freeze? Did we freeze?
No, we're still good.
I think we froze.
Let's see. I think we're
No,
okay.
I think we're all right.
All right, I'm
Your
checking.
connection is unstable. That might be me.
I was about to say,
Tell me why.
I don't know. Are you in the
Yeah,
are
I
you
don't know.
are you in the bunker tonight?
Yeah, I'm in the bunker. Using 2 phones, both on hotspot, and piggybacking.
there.
I can't wait to get this internet straightened out. I tried to go live yesterday a little bit, thinking about doing a new show called what was it called? I can't even remember the name right now. It was so bad. Um, Dysfunctional, believe it or not, dysfunctional. Perfect name, and just have all kinds of people on, um, that are dysfunctional like us,
Right.
and the whole show was just a nightmare. So James R. Um, comes on my Twitter and he's like, and you're having problems getting the show started and going live. What a perfect title, dysfunctional. I'm like, oh my god, he's got to rip me. Of course,
That
I took that tweet down. I love his personality. He's awesome, man. We always troll each other. Some people, I'll go on their page and I'll friendly troll them, and people are like, block this troll, and they're like, it's Jake. He's just stupid. This is what he does. You
That's
know?
funny. That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least they don't treat you like you treat some of these poor people that happen to
Oh,
want.
I've lifted them. Well, they're actually real trolls.
Yeah, I
And
know.
and
I
you
know.
know, on
I
this
know.
show, we definitely let people have different opinions. But when you
Sure.
start coming on with CNN talking points, and I mean, if you want to say, hey, the coronavirus is not that widespread, I think they're hyping the numbers, then come on, let's talk. But if you're like, Trump did this, blood's on his hands, everybody that died it's his fault, then forget it. I'm just gonna rip you.
No, you're absolutely right. You talk about that. That was one of the articles I had pulled up. So the Brazilians start defying isolation, egged on by Bolsonaro in Brazil, the president of Brazil. So he's telling everybody, get out, go do your thing. He said at first he said, I thought there was something to this, and then he says, but where'd he go? Where is he at? Oh, it's just a little flu. He said that his history of being an athlete would protect him. So he goes
Wow.
on to talk about how he's encouraged people to go take their walks, to go out, go to the beach, go shopping, open up shops, all this other stuff. But it's funny because that was an AP article that I was just showing. The very same day, the AP article says virus surge in Brazil brings a coffin shortage, morgues in chaos, talking about in Manaus, the capital of the state, was recording an average of 20 to 35 deaths a day, according to the mayor. Now it is recording at least 130 a day. So I guess
Wow.
what I would say is, so if this is your flu season, okay, and it's no big deal, then why is there a jump? And when normally 20 to 25 would be dying, now you have 130 dying a day. It just doesn't make sense. The numbers
Yeah.
don't bear out what people are saying. And I don't know if you saw the report. Oh, I wish I had my little note thing. President Trump, where he went to college, was it Wartman's that he went to? Anyway, they did a study talking
I
about
think he
what
went to Trump University.
is that where it was? The
You remember that whole thing,
the
right?
online university.
They were saying it was a scam or whatever.
Yeah, I remember that. I think it was located right next to the University of Phoenix.
Mm.
But anyway, the death toll would have been staggering. Had you not implemented this, had you not implemented that, had we just stayed fully in touch with each other, that the death toll would have been 1 million people by the end of June.
Oh
So
yeah. I'm
yeah,
sure it would have been bad. Now, obviously, there's probably some fudging of numbers because some hospitals were going broke, and if they list them as, COVID, then they get money. And obviously, for reasons they want to keep us shut down to kill the economy. Those are not conspiracies. I'm sure there are stuff like
sure.
that.
Oh,
But
sure.
make no mistake, I'm here to tell you, as I told people on my Twitter, which is just Jake357 now, and you're at 1600 reasons why, right? On
Right.
Twitter.
Right.
I was telling them that just be careful throwing out conspiracies because, I didn't know this was going to hit my family. And we're very like paranoid, not paranoid, very aware of
Right.
what goes on with games from that the government plays or hospitals play, and we were all over this. And she was elderly and she had underlying conditions, but make no mistake, this ended her life early. And like I said, that's one less hug, one less I love you. So yeah, eventually she was going to die. Breaking news, we're all going to die. But you know what? Let me tell you, it definitely ended her life early. So just be careful throwing out conspiracies, because there are people that are being affected by this. And when they hear that, I'm sure they get so angry.
Right, and now obviously there's more fallout from that. Not just her, but obviously more going
Yeah.
on. So yeah, but
Everybody having to be tested around her,
that's
and
right.
where did it come from? And it's not good.
So
It's not good. So
and one of the
so
things,
real quick, if everybody could throw a prayer out
absolutely,
to my loved ones and all the people out there, because my sister has to be tested, and my brother-in-law and my nephews, and it's a mess. It's a
yeah.
mess.
And going back to the point that you were talking about, they may fudge the numbers, but okay. So let's take, just as a microcosm, this number right here. So if they were averaging 20 to 35 deaths a day, and they're at 130, I don't care where that increase came from. You now
Right.
have 130 deaths. You can explain them however you want to, but you were running 20 to 35, and now you have 130. Did that many
Right.
more people get hit by cars? Did that many more people get, mauled by animals? I mean, come on, it's 130 over 20. So, and now they say that in 25 of the states, there's actually been a daily increase in the infection rates. And this is actually going towards a time when they're trying to reopen things. I don't know. I mean, it's a balancing game. I know that I'm not going to jump out to the movie theaters when this opens up, and I'm not going to go out and eat. And there's a place. Matter of fact, there's only one time that I've gone to a place to get takeout. It was just the other night, going to celebrate an event with family, but not really together, more like a drive-by thing. So
Right.
we stopped at a restaurant. Before we went to the restaurant, I watched their video, and they talked about how they were taking the temperature before they, when the workers came in. Everyone was wearing a mask. They were sanitizing, had video of their cleaning products and all this stuff.
Right.
And I get there, I walk to the entrance of the door, not going in, just walk to the entrance of the door, tell them I'm there for my food. And I look back, and the guy is sitting back in the cooking area with his mask down around his chin. Okay.
Yeah.
I won't elaborate as far as where it went from there, but I will say this. If you're going to put your video out there, and this, as an owner of a business, this would have mortified me when I found out, and believe me, the owner did find out. But I told, and one of the things I said to him, listen, these are hard times for restaurant workers, wait staff, all this. If I'm putting myself out there to go patronize a place, then walk the walk. If you're going to have it on a video, that's how you're doing it. So,
Yeah.
but anyway,
Yeah. Absolutely. It's funny because today. Oh, I'm sorry. What, you weren't finished? Go
well,
ahead.
I was in, and then the only other thing I said is, if that guy back there doesn't care any more about this than that, then I can't trust that in his daily life that he's taking personal precautions to protect himself to not have the virus. So, yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, just a point.
Today was the first time I did take out, and I'm like you. I've been just barely going to the store when I have to,
Right.
doing what I can. And I know a lot of people are like, this is ridiculous. They got us all hiding in our houses. But listen, and a lot of businesses are going out business. So in the end, if that was false and we didn't really need to stay in our house, then I stayed in my house. If I had not done that, the risk would be me getting sick, my loved ones getting sick. So, I can deal with it. So today I finally went and got some Caribbean food. I found a place that was open that I always go to. And this is crazy. I don't know if you guys are big fans of oxtail, but when somebody first told me that, I'm like, are you talking about like an ox's tail? They're like, yeah, it's so good. I'm like, nah, pass, hard pass. Then I tried it and I was like, wow, that is good.
Wow.
So I finally
Okay.
got some killer food, sat at a park. You're not really supposed to sit. Oh, well, in case anybody's watching, I really didn't sit. I ate while I
Hey,
was
look.
walking, and it was just beautiful out. It finally wasn't like 90
Right.
here in South Florida. There was very low humidity. That's why my hair looks good right now. And yeah, usually it's death heat out here, which kind of leads me to think I'm not really banking on this whole sun and hot weather is going to kill
Yeah.
the coronavirus, because let me tell you, man, It's been hot out here for a month
Yep.
in the high 80s, 90s with high humidity, and we were growing in Florida 1,000 cases a day. I think we're growing at like 500, 600 now, like
Okay.
500. So it's definitely dropping. But yeah, it's still growing. So
Hey, Rocky's with you on the oxtails. He says he loves oxtails too.
yeah, yeah, it's kind of like stewed meat and with rice. Oh man, it was good. And I got a small order of jerk chicken. My mouth's still on fire. That's the only reason I'm drinking tonight. I
Eh,
normally don't.
See, now I have a lot of favorite foods, and I probably have at least 365 to take me every day of the year. So that I don't know that I'll try oxtails, but
Exactly. Well, you
but
don't say oxtails because now you're really gonna make it sound gross. So it's like oxtail. You gotta say it fast, so they don't break it down to like a tail. But it really is good.
so it doesn't work well in print then when you have to actually type it and
No,
read it.
yeah, yeah, you didn't oxtail
Oh
and
man.
rice. No, it's good. It's
Well,
really good.
all right. So I got another article. I don't know if you saw this one today, and this is the reason why I like the NRA. Did you see Trudeau? Let me see if I could pull that one up. Oh, there he is. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau orders ban on 1,500 style of weapons. Okay, he's going to give you around 2 years to get rid of all those. I guess figuring that no one's doing
Fifteen
anything.
hundred types of
Uh,
weapons.
yeah, 1,500 types of weapons. They're
Oh wow,
assault style weapons. Okay. Uh,
assault style
yeah,
weapons.
they said that part of this is in response to the 22 people that were killed. He said he sees the mandate as closing the market in Canada for about 1,500. He said people are dying, families are grieving, communities are suffering. It must end. Man, I'll tell you what, if you were going to do anything more suspicious, could you imagine anything worse than telling people in this country during a pandemic that you're going to take their guns? I mean, people would have.
Well, they were doing that. They were closing gun stores while
Well,
they
they
were letting
were. That
prisoners out.
that's true. Yes.
While they were letting prisoners out
Yep.
for every other excuse. I know down here in South Florida, I just watched an article where they're letting out, illegal aliens where in detainment camps. They were out there protesting. Let them go. Let them go. Oh, so you're gonna let them live with you? You're gonna let prisoners live with you?
That's what
No, no, no.
they should have a foster family
Right.
plan. So if you're out there protesting,
Yeah.
you have to sign up, and then you have to take, and you can't be one of their family members. You can't know the
Right.
guy. It's for somebody totally
Right.
random, and he comes and
Yeah.
moves in with you and your young children. And
Yeah.
yeah, let's see how that works out for you.
Yeah. No, I think there's adopt a rapist or something.
Yeah,
Adopt a
that's
rapist.
about
I
what
mean,
that's about what it would
seriously.
amount to. Yeah.
What is wrong with people? I mean, it's just, sometimes these liberal agendas, they just protest to protest, and how, like, talking about Canada, shutting down the guns. I always say this, like, people get run over with trucks, the pressure cooker bomb friggin' in the Boston. What are you going to ban everything until
Right.
you learn it's hate in people's hearts? You can ban everything you want. You're not going to fix it.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, it is. I got to think that prisons are one of the easiest places that you could isolate people. I mean, if you want to have that 6 foot rule in place, I think prisons are the place to do it. I
Now,
mean,
Arnie Maui's here and he's saying, let me move my head over there. No such thing as an assault weapon. Right. When you look at that gun laying there, it doesn't pick itself up and
that's
just
right.
start assaulting people.
Walking
And
around.
how many assault knives bans? I mean, and they had a huge problem in London, right? In England,
Oh
where it was
yeah.
just stabbing people.
Yep.
So then, you're gonna ban knives, really? And you got to sit there and gnawing on your steak
I,
like a
I
wolf? I
I
mean, come
just
on.
I just can't see it happening here. But you know what? I never thought I'd see a pandemic either. So never say never, right?
Well, I never thought that we would have an FBI agency completely spy on and try to take down in a coup a opposition party,
Right.
and then a Democratic Party pay for it, and then rogue agents, and then cover it up, and then a Democratic Party try to impeach a
And
president
right.
over a phone call. Meanwhile, Hunter Biden is all wrapped up in, you would never think you would see any of these things. And that's why I'm glad there's still people out there that believe in, rights and all that stuff.
Yeah.
How can you
Yeah. And I
sit
still and I
there and say,
yeah. And I
how can
still
you
don't
say that?
understand I still don't understand why he hasn't come under investigation. I want Biden brought up for when he said, I told him we'd get back on the plane and take our $1 billion and go home if you know, if he didn't cancel the I mean, and 100.
Because it's a two-tier system, you know.
Yeah. Oh, can we touch on this a second? When do we get to see Biden debate? I'm really looking forward to that. I really want to see that.
Oh my God.
It's going to be sad, but I really want to see it.
Well, actually, if you watch some of his things, he's actually debating with himself. He just doesn't know it.
It's
He's, you
like-
know, he's like, what did you say? Oh, wait, that was me in the computer screen. I thought
That's
that was somebody else.
I was just
It's really
debating with
bad.
my wife. I mean, my sister, and
My sister, my wife, where am I?
oh man,
Yeah,
he's got those sexual charges. He's sexual assault charges. He's going to be having to talk about too.
yeah, and so this morning apparently he was going to talk about it with a very fair and impartial person, Morning Joe
Oh,
Scarborough. Come on, I mean, I could just see. I didn't watch it, because I have this thing called a life, but
right.
I can imagine like the softballs that were flying at him. Like, do you
Wiffle
believe
balls.
this lying girl? Do you believe that there's any credibility to this lying girl, Russian agent who says you raped her? I mean, that's how they framed the question pretty much.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, it's ridiculous. What they did to Kavanaugh is night and day. The coverage was wall to wall, and
Yeah.
all women should be believed. And I don't think that Biden should be looked at as guilty. I'm big on, innocent till proven guilty. It's the hypocrisy of our
Right.
media that makes me sick, man.
Well, and apparently this girl was not quiet about it back when it happened. I mean, she was telling
Yeah.
friends, family members. I mean, it's not like she just came out of the woodwork and said, "Hey, back then, this happened to me, and I didn't want to say anything, but now that there's a chance he's running the country, I went." No, she was like saying it. Family, friends, psychiatrists. She was talking to everybody back then about it happening. So,
Well, yeah, and her mom called into Larry King, you know?
oh, that's right. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, and asked
I
him.
mean, you can't go back and make that call.
No,
You would
no.
need like a rotary phone or something.
Where's the list? Milano, where's she at? Is she?
She finally did comment on it when everybody was pounding her Twitter. I was one of them forever. And she finally put out some weak statement that I hear you, Tara. I hear you. Oh, shut up.
I hear
I
you.
mean, are you calling for an investigation? Are you going to sit behind Biden with your smirky
Signs.
face?
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
and you remember when Sheila Jackson looked like she paid off somebody when she handed them something? That was weird.
That was weird. Yes, the handoff.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of shady stuff.
That looked as guilty as Tiger Woods when he handed that girl that phone number that time.
Oh yeah, he's like, yo, take this.
Oh man,
I was just signing my scorecard. That's all.
that's it. Yeah, scored one. So
But
anyway,
yeah,
yeah. So
go
I
ahead.
that's pretty much all I had. I don't have anything else. But what about you? What you got?
No, just pretty much living life. Glad we're going live again,
Yeah,
and we'll do this show dysfunctional, and we'll run it. May have to run it from your thing because last night I was just seeing what we can do and who would show up, and there's a couple of people that are probably going to come on. Well, I'd love to have Glay on, and I'd love Rocky to go live one time. He said he was gonna, but I don't know if he's gonna. I
Rocky,
would
come
love
on.
that.
Hey, we're rolling this thing on Zoom. Hey, DM and Jake will
Yeah,
Jake will give you the meeting number. You guys are more than
yes, I
welcome to
will.
come on.
As long as I know you, because Arnie Maui, I know Glay and Della. I mean, recognize a lot of names here. So,
Yeah. Now what?
you know,
Now Glay, he's the one that you had on the broadcast you did. That was the audio broadcast, right?
yeah, yeah. He's
Yeah.
got like that cool Tennessee voice.
Oh, dude, I could
Um,
tell. I could tell he'd be fun to hang out with.
and people love him, man. People love him.
he,
Um,
he seems like a
these
really
are the
laid out
glays of our
guy.
lives. He does like the soap opera part of Periscope, and he retires every other week like all of us. We're like, I'm done with this. I'm never coming back. I'm just gonna play gospel songs. That's what I usually say. And then all of a sudden you're right back in the fight.
Right.
It's just like a black hole. It sucks you right back in. Um, and believe it or not, Glenn from MAGA Coalition is a really interesting guy. A lot of people don't like him. Obviously, we had to fight. But he knows so much about things. He's really interesting. People love to tune into him. So all kinds of characters we're gonna have on here, you know.
Yeah, because we can regurgitate information, but hearing other people's opinions, and it's hard to do in chat a lot of times. A lot of times it just helps to have a running dialogue with
Yeah.
somebody. So yeah, if you guys are interested in that, yeah,
Well, I have a lot of problems with chat. I for like 2 years or more. One time it just went away. No matter what device I was on, I'll type something, then it completely goes away. The hearts go away. Even if I'm on my computer, I'm on my phone. It doesn't even matter. It's like crazy. It must be they know my IP or something because you know, uh, Total News Network. This page, which is now just Jake. I would when I try to go live with producer it every time I hit start, broadcast, it says something went wrong and it's not your fault. I have to back out and then hit it again. No other account that I have. Yes, I have some other accounts. I know you're not supposed to, but maybe one does that. It's the only one that does that.
now
Like it's
is producer
part of the shadow
Periscope
ban.
is
No, producer is yes, it's the part of Periscope. Like I can
okay,
go live with my phone, just filming my face,
okay,
and whatever. And but then produces what we're doing right now. You
okay,
know, even though we're running through Restream, where you can add graphics and you know other things. But every
gotcha.
time I do it on Total News Network, there's something wrong. You know what I mean?
Now
And my
even with
Twitter is just non-existent.
the iPad,
The iPad was a little better actually. The
okay,
iPad that I just got was definitely a little better, and then it kind of got screwed up. So is this something with my IP, man? You,
okay,
you know how this goes. They don't want you viewing. They don't want you talking. They want you to have all kinds of problems.
VPN,
See, they used to shut you down. They got smart. They used to shut your page down, and then you would just make another one. Now they just leave you up and nobody sees you.
right? And
You know
they
what I mean? I have 1,700 viewers, and I just shared this out. And when this ends, I'll look at how many replay viewers watch, and it'll be maybe 3, 4, right? But if I go on Glaze broadcast or anybody else's and I share it, for 3 days, I'll be seeing this replay of viewer watched it, 10, 20,
right.
40. So it's crazy how they have me on lockdown, man. I don't know what it is. It's crazy.
Yeah, you can't keep a good man down,
That's right. I'll just keep going. And I've been waiting for some conservative platform to come up, but for some reason they don't.
right?
I don't know. There's a lockdown on maybe server space. YouTube's, censors like crazy. Facebook started, I told you, Mark Zuckerberg started saying anybody that doesn't agree with the WHO, you'll either be banned or if
Yeah,
somebody likes your post, they'll send you a link right to WHO. Like, are you kidding me?
yeah.
Really? The people that told you the travel ban won't work, this doesn't, go from person to person, that's who you're going to send us to? What do you want us all to die? I don't get it, man.
Yeah, well, like always said, I won't give Facebook a second of my time. I know it's probably necessary for some people. Some
Yeah,
people just find it a useful tool. I just, yeah,
not good.
don't like it. But anyway, what I do like is the opportunity that I had to see you again tonight and
Yeah,
talk to other wonderful people that are out here. So thank you for that. Uh,
yeah. Thank you guys for tuning in, man.
yeah,
And Rich has got an outro video that shows all of our things. I think some still valid, right?
there
Except
may
Total
be
News Network.
maybe like two of them that are out there still working. But
Oh, okay.
Jake, prayers are with you, your family.
Thank you.
Please share that with them, and to everybody out there who's been affected one way or the other, or just in fear or trepidation about this. Just one day at a time. The time will go back past, and we will get on the other side of it. Where
Yeah.
we can be social again, but until then, I guess virtually will be the route we have to take. So yeah,
Yep. And I always say this, anybody that's hurting out there, a lot of people are hurting right now and will hurt after this, especially first responders and nurses. They're going to have, you know, um,
PTSD. Yeah,
PTSD, forget it forever. And but my DMs are open on Just Jake 357. If you ever want to talk, just reach out. You're not alone. You'll be surprised how many people actually care about you and they really don't even know you.
that's right.
It's just a human thing. So
It
reach
is.
out. God bless you guys for tuning in. Thank you so much.
Amen. Take care. We'll see if we can get this one to work. Okay. Let's try it. Let's see. Nah, never going to work. All right. We'll just go with the other one.
There you
Nah,
go.
hold on. Not still not
Hold
working.
faithful.
There we go.
I would like to begin with a poem in old-fashioned meter. Be good to us, and we will be good to you. Be good to us, and we will be good. I would like to begin with a poem in old-fashioned meter. Be good to us, and we will be good to you. Be good to